So when I first moved to Australia, I had all these questions, doubts, fears, and everything around my head and what I'm going to do when I arrive. If you're watching this video, probably are thinking about moving to Australia. I'm going to give you tips, things I wish I knew before I move here. Hopefully, I will chill you out a bit. First thing is the flight is not a big deal. Like, you just need to book the flight, go, and as soon as you are on the airplane, all the nerves will fade away. I remember when I booked the flight, I was in Madrid airport, and I was scared as hell. As soon as I entered the flight, you just enter in like super focused mode, because now you're like, there is no way back. So I'm not going back. You just go, and you will figure things out by yourself. Even if you are like a little bit introverted, you're scared. I was also scared. Everyone is scared. So also keep that in mind. Everyone is scared as well, like you and every backpacker. A lot of people, most of the people here in Australia are immigrants. So you'll make friends easy. My second point is you'll make friends faster and easier than you think, especially if you move to an hostel. So I highly recommend you to move to an hostel when you arrive. The reason for that is because you'll meet a community of people in the same position as you, probably in the same financial situation, have the same questions, and you will meet people a little bit ahead of you, which can guide you through your process. So when I arrived, I was obviously by my own, met a few guys that were there for like a month or two, and a month or two in Australia is already enough. They have a master degree in Australia experience, so they can tell you exactly where the bank is, how should you do your tax file number, which bank is the best, and then you can speak with people, figure things out on your own. You'll also make loads of friends, so you will meet people from all around the world, and you'll create a good community. In my experience, I started in Cairns, so I highly recommend starting in a smaller town. The reason for that is because in big cities it's way harder to make friends long term, because usually people are on passage, so no one actually stays in Sydney, Melbourne a while unless you are from the UK. So because people need to do their days if they want to stay longer, which is most of people, I believe. I will say just start in a smaller town and do your days immediately. If you want to stay, you'll know people way faster. You'll make a big community. People usually stay longer, so you can make friends longer, and you don't need to keep switching friends every week or every month or two, and will also feel exhausted. For my third point, you'll feel alone sometimes, and that's okay. Everyone feels the same way as you when they move, because after the honeymoon phase and after your best friends, when you arrive, leave, because that will happen eventually, you will feel like, oh my god, I don't have any friends, what I'm going to do. But eventually you will meet other friends. But the problem is some friends cannot be replaced by others, no matter how many people you'll make. And if you make deeper connections, and if you are like me, you have like a battery of friendships, like after a while you cannot connect with people anymore the same way you connected when you arrived. So the comparison I make is when you go to school, you start in a class and you make your mates there, or your friends there, or in your school in general, and you in the beginning you kind of speak with everyone, but then you choose a group, and then that becomes your group. You can still speak with other people, but you choose your tribe, and then that's the tribe you stay. And that happens as well in an hostel environment, and here as well. The problem is in school you stay with all their group of friends for like 3 years, but here they can leave in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. If you have deep connections with people, it will be hard for you to say goodbye, but it will get easier over time, because at the end of the day, everyone is here on their own journeys, and you also need to think about what you want to do, and that's also part of the experience. Knowing that people will leave will also be why it matters as well. So the reason why they leave, it's also important, because you have like a short term with them, so you can enjoy stuff more, because it's not forever. So you cut all the bullshit and you create relationships way faster, maybe compared to what you did back home, and that's a great thing to have, to be honest. But keep in mind, you'll feel lonely sometimes. You're gonna think about quitting, and I don't have any friends and everything, but everything will be all right at the end of the day if you just keep moving forward. You need to work hard for your money, and it's worth it. So when I arrived here, I came with the idea that making money is super easy and super fast, and you arrive, you find a job in 2 days, and then you make $30 an hour, $40 an hour, and then you can save loads of money, and in 1 month you save, and you can stay 3 months unemployed. You can do that. You can make money here quite easy and fast compared to other countries, especially in Europe, because the ratio for spending money and making money, it's bigger compared to at least where I'm from, which is basically zero. But here you can have a pretty standard job, a normal job, and you can make money. I recommend take care of your financials first, so you don't stress about. So if you're thinking about moving and travel first, just be aware that your money will also run out quite fast. So just keep that in mind. I highly recommend start saving first and then enjoying after. It makes more sense to do that way, but if you came here and do that, that's all on you. That's your life. This is just my personal take. It's worth it. Like, all the hours you make, all the hard work you get, but also be prepared to work jobs that you're not qualifying to do, especially if you have high level of education. If you are like a tradie or a trade in your home country, and if you come here to do a trade, you'll make way more money than all the other backpackers, because those jobs are in high demand, especially in remote areas, so you can also get sponsored quite easy. Another thing is the lifestyle is different in every city, so pick your city accordingly. So I only live in 2 cities so far. I live in Cairns and I live in Sydney. Cairns is more like a slow-paced lifestyle. It's a more backpacking lifestyle, so you'll meet a lot of people on working holiday visas, enjoying their lives, not thinking about long-term plans and all of that, so it's not a place to settle, I would say. You can still settle in Cairns if you want. Everyone is also coming, going. It's an amazing place to start. I love the tropical paradise. I love Queensland. That's my favorite place in Australia. For me, Queensland is way better than New South Wales, but that's just my take. For example, Gold Coast is more like surfy town lifestyle. Or Brisbane, it's a big city, but it's smaller than Sydney, and Sydney is a fucking animal. It's huge, and every place in Sydney has like different lifestyles, so you need to choose accordingly. So if you want to party more, you go to Melbourne. I heard the parties are good there. If you want to make money, I would say go to North Queensland, Northern Territory, maybe go to a smaller town. You can make more money because you don't spend as much, but also you don't have as much activities. What you will do is probably nature related, so you need to pick your lifestyle you want to live. So if you want to live a more beachy lifestyle, you go to where the beaches are. So Gold Coast, you have Byron Bay. Byron Bay is great as well. Byron Bay is top. I loved it. Byron Bay, Sydney as well, like Bondi, Manly, but it's also more expensive. You also have Perth, Western Australia. If you want to make money, maybe go to Northern Territory, Cairns, if you have a job. And also my last one is make up a plan if you want to settle here as soon as possible, because your visa will end soon. And I know when you arrive, it doesn't feel like that, because the days and the weeks feel slower, because you all are experiencing everything new for the first time, and so your time feels like it moves slower, but the time also goes like this. So a year can pass like this, 2 years can pass like this. You are never settled in any place almost any time, because you need to change locations, because you cannot work for the same employee for more than 6 months. So most of people, they just move to another city to experience a new lifestyle. So I would say, if you want to settle, make a plan, speak with an immigration agent, trying to get a sponsorship as soon as possible, see what kind of options do you have, and just make up a plan. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions regarding working holiday visa, moving to Australia, moving abroad, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you out. I'll also make videos about my experience here in Australia, my future plans and everything. If you want to follow, make sure you subscribe, like, and that's it.